Hello, everyone. This is Callie with the Cosmic Haven Tarot, here to give you your bi-weekly love reading. So let's get started. I'm using my manga deck today just because it is so lovely, and it's actually a lot softer energy than the anime tarot, which is a little bit harsher, but I like the softness of the manga, and both of them are beautiful just in their own ways. So here we go. First and foremost, so we have the Three of Wands. So for some of you, you guys are taking a new creative endeavor. You're seeing you are more empowered and more confident in yourself than you have ever been before. And you're realizing, okay, I can shed the egoic layers of what it means to really be in a romantic relationship with somebody and really just be in a co-creatorship or a partnership with somebody rather than having these societal standards of what romance means. We're really moving on from that and seeing relationships in a more healthier light rather than this romanticized let's get married and be together forever, which has been turning into this really toxic, clingy type feeling. You're moving beyond that and exploring different aspects of relationships. So maybe this is like a friends with benefits situation, or perhaps you are dating somebody of a gender you don't normally date. Anyway, you are exploring new avenues beyond these stereotypical standard relationship societal rules. And the Magician. So while you are in the process of creating this, you have set your intention, you've written everything down, especially with this new moon energy. We're in the Piscean new moon, so it's really all about this water energy and diving into your subconscious and seeing what you truly desire. And you've had these intentions for a long time of what you want in a partnership, and you're seeing them come to fruition, just not in the way you envisioned it. And that's kind of scary for the mind. The mind is like, hello, I envisioned this knight on a horse or this princess in a tower, and what is this? But really surrender and know that this is like a relationship for your highest good, and that it's not going to be those standard fairy tales. It's not going to be the 1950s relationships, or even, the early 2000s relationships. But it's going to be something really different. So while you are making this energy, and though the Magician is so, more in the solar plexus, more in the let's focus and bring this into fruition, I can do this type energy, it's also, doing the work and then surrendering. So you've made the magic, okay? Now you have just got to let it go and let it happen in its own way that's in alignment with your soul. Then we've got the Page of Coins. So you guys in this partnership, in this relationship, rather than focusing so much on the love and grasping and getting that person, really focus on different avenues of abundance, because it really is about you being your full independent self and then coming into a relationship with this full independence. Therefore, you are not really clinging to another person. So Page of Coins is really saying get your material stuff in order. Accept these new avenues for abundance and prosperity. Look into avenues of health and well-being for your body. Maybe even tap into what's going to... Ooh, they are driving really fast. Sorry about that. So maybe even tap into something that is helping your mind and your mindset. Do some yoga, do some weightlifting, really get into the body and get physical and embrace the material plane within yourself and become that strong, empowered human being, that soul that physicalizes into this body. All right. Then we've got the Two of Cups. So the more you embody this sense of independence, the more you are going to attract your significant other. So it's really about learning and knowing thyself, and you'll be able to tap into energy and be like, okay, so this person resonates with me for now. And, for some of you, this might be, this dating game. You go out on dates and you explore and discover people you like and discover people you don't like. Whereas for other people, it might just be like one look and you're like, oh, that person ain't it. And then you look at another person and you're like, oh, that energy, that resonates with me for a while. And it might be a week, it might be 2 weeks, it might last years, who knows? But you really surrender and fully embrace the moment within these partnerships and within these relationships. And then strength, so really taming the beast within. So a lot of the ego is really clinging to this idea of what it means to be in partnership, and a lot of this old stuff, and really trying to grasp and force and mold somebody into the vision that you define as a perfect partnership. Whereas once you tame that beast, you realize that, oh, I can be my perfect partner. Really trust, having issues with trust, you're like, oh, I really just need to trust myself. That's why I'm having issues. Sense of worth, sense of respect, this romance that you want. I need to romance myself. I need to respect myself and honor myself at an even deeper level. I don't need to ask somebody to do that for me. If they do, that's great. And I'm so thankful for it. But trying to force somebody to love me, that's not going to work anymore. All right. So even if you do happen to get that ring on your finger, that doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are meant to be for life. That's just what, society, Christianity, the Romans actually invented marriage rings, wedding rings. So, Romans, very masculine, very patriarchal, this forced, contract, and okay, we have to be together for life. The rings might not necessarily symbolize that. Perhaps they more symbolize like we are going to be loyal to each other until this runs its course, and then we're going to be willing to let go of the rings. I mean, you think of crystals, for example, and if you happen to lose a crystal or break a crystal, or your bracelets shatter, that means that's the end of the journey with you and that crystal for this time, and you let them go with love and grace. So rings and proposals and marriage vows should be more fluid and more loose like that, not binding people. However, there is this subconscious conditioning to bind people to you, to check people. Like, if I'm the only one who gets you, I'm the only one who has you. That's not necessarily true. For some people, polyamorous relationships may work, and that's totally fine. Or maybe, it's a monogamous relationship, but say you like to go to strip clubs. Like, that's not necessarily cheating, you're just watching people strip, and that's totally fine. So be really open to these different aspects and surrender, and allow this partner to flourish, and allow the ego to subside, and let this relationship be what it should be in its highest good. And then we got the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups, were really coming into community. And for some of you, this might be like more of a polyamorous relationship, and allowing it to flourish and be as beautiful as it should be, and finding healthy ways to really celebrate each other within the relationship. So totally be open to that sense of surrender, and enjoying each other's company, enjoying each other's time, being fully grateful for the people within this relationship. And that's going to be so important, for any relationship. The more you express gratitude, the more the other person is going to flourish. So as a group, allow each other to flourish. And then we've got this Ace of Wands in reverse. So a lot of this is, I'm getting the sense that it's a lot of pent up sexual blockages, just because we are based within a westernized Christianic society. So some of these blocks might be, oh, I can't enjoy my body. Oh, I can't enjoy co-creating with somebody, making love to somebody, having great sex with somebody. But once you start opening yourself up to that, and really surrendering and allowing yourself to enjoy this pleasure that is within each and every human body. Enjoy your body, enjoy other people's bodies safely, please and thank you. But really take time to fully enjoy that, and you'll see how deep you can go to loving yourself, to being able to express yourself, having that confidence, having more openness and vulnerability with people in a much healthier way, because you are embracing, you know, your innate nature, your innate sexuality at a healthier level. And then Ace of Cups, and it's really, you know, this surrender, this vulnerability, accepting yourself as you are, accepting everything about yourself, you know, your sexuality, your spiritual beliefs, your views on life, looking into everything and just honoring it and loving it for what it is at this time. And the more you do that, the more your cup is going to be filled, and the more you can bring into whatever relationship you choose. So start looking at yourself, start looking at your demons. And you know, for example, like right now there's been like this block within me that I'm currently exploring, that I've been looking at, and it's like this. I think of it as, if you do watch Fairy Tale ever, Mira, the she devil. And she's just this nice, sweet girl, but then, you know, when you mess with her family, she turns into a devil, and she's really strong. So, like, that devil within me, I look into it and I am like, oh, this devil just needs some love, and whatever comes out, and I can't be afraid of, you know, whatever comes out is going to be beautiful, and I'm going to surrender and set her free and see what happens, because restraining that is, at the end of the day, hurting me, because I'm not loving myself. So we will see. And then we have this beautiful Four of Wands, or Four of Staves. So it looks more like staves in this picture, so we'll just say staves. So this is really about fulfillment, having that foundation set within yourself, and having it set within your other relationships. So, you know, being able to say, okay, this is what this relationship it is. It might be like a friends with benefits relationship, and that's going to be okay. That's going to bring me happiness and joy. Or it might be a romantic relationship, and you're like, that's going to be happy, that's going to be joy. But whatever it is with this partner or partners, have some boundaries, have some label that's not going to be too constricting upon it, so you guys can healthfully know what the expectations are when you are together and when you are in this relationship. And lastly, the Hanged Man in reverse. So some of you might be resisting this egoic change, this surrender. And a lot of it is because we are shifting into the age of Aquarius. So a lot of people are stuck back in this Piscean age, which is really more about, you know, karmic release. We've had a lot of patriarchal things going on, and control mechanisms, and, you know, being within this societal construct. So really take time to let that go and shed these layers, and be like, okay, I'm going to embrace this newness, this sense of community, this sense of freedom, and really caring about others and social causes, and being more open to the unknown, and exploring who I am as a person and what I bring to the table within this community. And that's going to bring you the romance that you really crave and desire. All right. So take time to this new moon to really surrender. Look into your subconscious. What are these ugly things that you've kept hidden? What are your deepest desires that you've suppressed? And be okay with them. Like, since we have had this patriarchal society, which has had its place in time, it's just time to move on and shed these layers, so we can be a new purified form, so we can evolve. But since we've had this, we've been conditioned to think, okay, we have to be within societal structures. And if we can't, we're not going to survive. We're going to be cast out. However, it's time to fully embrace the deepest desires within you and break free of those societal conditionings, okay? So, lastly, we are going to have the Work Your Light Oracle cards, and one fell out, so we're going to use that. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So really trust your path, go forward and trust that you are doing the right thing for you. Surrender and just take it one step at a time. Take time to love yourself, because the ego is going to flare up and be like, okay, what are you doing right now? Like, this is messed up. We have never done this before. It's not safe. Take time to assure it, like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Just trust me. Let's walk together. Let's co-create. It's going to be beautiful. Bring out that naughty side, okay? Because it needs to be seen as well. So if you liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it if you will, and I will see you next week for our financial reading. All right?